I didn't know much about archives. Where everybody's been to a museum, everybody's been to stately homes, and I didn't know a great deal about archives, so it was a way of learning something new, as well as fulfilling the assignment requirements. It's George Walters, aged 34. His register number was 6389. He was committed at Overton in Flintshire on October the 2nd, 1862 for housebreaking. He was committed at Mole Quarter Sessions for the above offence on October the 16th, 1862, and received 3 years penal servitude for his crimes. He was discharged on licence from Millbank Prison on April the 18th, 1865, and his destination was stated as Mould. His description: he was 5 foot 11 inches tall, he had a tawny complexion, dark brown hair and dark grey eyes. His left ear had been bitten, and his skin was thinly pitted with smallpox. On May the 30th, 1865, he was committed for 14 days to Rhuthun jail for disorderly conduct in the Union, and subsequently sent to the asylum at Dyma. Initially, we went online, looked at Ancestry UK, Find My Past, did a number of searches in them in borough records and census records, just trying to create a picture of his life. Then that led to other collections that they hold at the archive here. His earliest offence, he was just convicted of felony in 1854. Now we worked it out that he was born around 1830, so that his first offence that he was actually caught and punished for, he'd be 24 years old. And he just basically wandered, and he was a man, obviously he was poor, so the only way to survive is to get into petty crime. And then he ended up in the workhouse, which was the only place for somebody like him to go. I think his behaviour when he first went in, he was described as quite good. But then, as he went on, he got in trouble for refusing to work. They had him, I think, 2 weeks. They had him on just bread and water for the same offence. I think the first offence was, I think he was just summoned before the governor. The second time, it was 2 weeks with only bread and water. We found a receipt for an invoice for the transporting of him from Wrexham Workhouse to Denby Asylum. The admission notes state that by the time he was going into the asylum, he was 38. He was a pauper labourer and always led a wandering life, which was a quote from what we found. He'd been omitted from the workhouse in Wrexham. His mother had died in the asylum. He's described as dangerous to others and very violent, a person of unsound mind. At times he is sullen and refuses to answer any questions. At other times he becomes excited upon the slightest cause and threatens to kill anybody that comes near him. So there's obviously been a deterioration in his behaviour over the 14 years. He was well behaved, just quiet, and it progressed to he'd spend days in bed, wouldn't get out of bed and work, he'd just spend days in bed depressed. I think he had a seizure at some point in the end, and eventually just passed away 1905, I think he was, but he was still in the asylum at Denby. I would say unfortunate, lonely and troubled by the end.